science. Because I graduated and stuff.
So the email from Andrew says we're doing this one together.
But I just
Yeah.
have all my files. I just keep using the ACC one because it's already uploaded in the cloud. And I just like use it.
All three of my kids graduated from USF.
I actually hated USF.
I love
I-
USF.
I mean, I liked my archaeology. The only part of USF I liked was my archaeology. Anthropology teachers, like the science courses. There's like 1 million people in class,
I love all my
and they force you to show up to class. And
I'm coming, Miss Susan.
I didn't like that
That's okay. I'm not going anywhere.
because they only had certain
I'll be
class
right
times. They didn't have a lot of online
Whenever you're
coursework. I perform well in online because I can do it on my own time. When you tell me that the only time I can take this class is at 9 o'clock in the morning, I don't get home from work at 4 o'clock in the morning. Like, how do you? And then they dock a lot of the teachers 10% of their grade is attendance. Like I got a C in biology just
Do you know why though?
just because attendance.
Do you know why though?
Why?
Because it affects their pay.
The attendance?
Yeah, your attendance affects the teacher's pay.
In college?
Well, I started catching on. So like I started catching on. I would like my one class. It was like lab and lecture. So I'm like, you take my clicker to lab, the lecture. And I'll give you all the answers to all the lab. I'll send you my Excel spreadsheet.
Yes,
Just
so
so I didn't
it affects their pay, and then additionally, if your attendance falls below a certain percentage, then they cannot legally pass you through the course. So that's why they make it.
HCC. I mean, I don't know. Because for me, like I said, I had a B plus. I passed all the exams.
There's different on
And
the
then I got a
state
C
level
plus.
versus a university.
That's,
Community college versus.
I didn't know that.
They have
though.
different rules. You
No
know, that
wonder
they have
they
to
was
abide by.
trying me like
That's
that.
what they have to do to be accredited, so it's not like the teacher being an a-hole, it's.
I feel like they could have just. I'm like, how you give me a C plus? Like, couldn't you just? No.
Okay, so Guyaks is already a favorite style for everybody, Jay? All the-
See, my professors at USF,
You're gonna get a-
instead of
a,
issuing
a
penalties,
center.
they
I
went the other way around and they said, all right, if you show up to class on
For
time,
kayak, that's in.
you know, throughout the entire semester, then they bumped you.
Agency
Well, I
They
had
gave you,
professor like
they were
that.
like
Like,
good,
show
they
that-
gave you good stuff and it was
Yeah,
like
they-
incentives to actually show up. And
But I
all
only
that.
had one teacher.
So I can really just send them the script and they
Because it was
have to go to the
biology.
password. We can
Like,
do
I
systems
can't
at
use that
Friday.
as a research.
I just wanted to know
I feel
what
like
they
a
did
lot
have,
of teachers
but I'm
really
just.
weird or
That's
a lot of
not
them.
the year that
a
experience,
lot of
because
them didn't
my
even
USF
teach
teachers
well.
all cared, I mean, they were so
You got maybe
passionate.
just because I feel like the science teachers,
Okay.
they're really there because they want to do their research. They don't. A lot of them don't even know how to teach well. Like
Oh,
so, it was
I was
like
in business college, so it was a lot
this.
different.
Yeah, Tom said probably it's different because I'm like, I'm not like
I
I
don't
just
have
want
to
do
take
your
any
research.
science classes,
Like,
all those were fulfilled in my, AA credits, so.
right.
I just have to take my business classes because I had done all my prereqs in my AA.
Miss Andrew, did you log on and log
HSC.
into your Outlook?
Dang, I wish I had that experience on this.
I loved, the only thing I hated was the dang parking.
I knew you were gonna say the parking.
That crap was so infuriating.
At first, I would, before like a whole year, I would drive my car with my bike in it. To my
Okay, I'm
friend's
sending you
park
guys
and
a
ride
script
my
so you
bike
can
to
look
school,
it
just to
over
walk.
and have something to be
I
doing
didn't have
while
like
we
that.
get everything situated. Oh no.
My youngest is forensics. She got a degree.
I'm just going to get this story up.
That's what I started school for. I should have did that as one of my fun facts.
Communication.
When I started school, I started off in nuclear medicine, and then I transferred over because I got pregnant to CST, and my study is, area of study was forensics, and I'm actually a serologist with the state of Florida, blood stain pattern analysis.
I always wondered.
You like
if
that?
terminology.
Oh, I love it.
When I graduated in March, and I'm like, what can I do with a biology degree now? Since I didn't want to do dental school anymore, I'm like, So
I had the
it's
shortest career ever. 87 days in, I found out I was 6 weeks pregnant, but more horrifyingly, we were called to a crime scene in Sarasota, and someone had actually boiled their child, and
traumatized. See, I wouldn't want like when I was
and I
looking
can
at
see
this
a lot of
stuff,
stuff, but I just can't tolerate someone doing stuff to children.
I
So it
couldn't
was
do the
too much
forensics.
emotion
There's
walking
just
into
no
that
way.
scene.
I wanted to do
I could
CST
not.
as well, but, I just, I can't do blood.
I couldn't do that one. I
The
could
only
do the
thing
lab
that
work.
bothers me, the only thing that really would get to me would just be the smells. Cause I can, like I said, I like horror, sci-fi, all that kind of stuff. It's the smell. And no matter how
Those
much
are
salve you
good
put
things.
in your nose, under your nose, over your nose.
I have a funny
Decomp
sense. I don't even
comes
wear like
Yeah.
perfume, let alone smell good stuff.
You don't wanna wear perfume
No.
when you're around decomp. It
No,
just
I
makes it
mean in
worse.
in general, like
Oh.
sensitive smell, like odors, like will give me headache or.
Alright.
Check your inboxes, please, and thank you, and make sure you guys have the script and scroll through it, get comfortable with clicking around it, even though you guys have a hard copy, you will want to get familiar with the soft copy.
I'm not seeing
Nothing.
what you're talking about.
Give it a second.
I'm even hitting center machine.
I'm hitting refresh.
Oh, you know what? I don't have internet anymore, I have to get rid
This whole time.
It's gone nowhere. It's just sitting there.
You had a low moment.
Gotta secure your food.
Help!
I need somebody,
No,
not just anybody.
I was just kidding. You guys will have it.
She said, "How high you
Right. We'll see.
Are we gonna do this welcome to Genesis Cloud thing? Or do that on my own at home?
I don't know what that is, so the answer is no.
It says the following steps to walk you through the initial setup.
No, we'll do, on Friday, we'll go over the systems. I want to make sure you guys have access to, at the very least, your Outlook, so that you can pull up the script. Once we get situated, we're going to look into the prescription provider, the RX prescription list. So you can scroll through the script, but it'll be in Mod 3. After the health questions, it'll be a link in there to get you straight to the prescription list. If you guys actually want to go in there, you can, but it's quite a few lot of things.
You're under somebody else's still. You're still logged into, you're logged into 2 emails. You're not equal.
Yeah, that's what
Sign
he has.
out.
Yeah, you
You gotta
gotta
log out
take
of
that
that.
other account off, that.
The other account.
Okay, how do I do that up here? Which one?
I'll take care of it.
Yeah, that's why I didn't log it out. So, yeah, I'm gonna let Jason do that.
Okay. That account? Just sign that one.
Never eat sticky or never eat pizza. Never eat pizza.
I was gonna say, we can scrap pizza off. I was gonna throw that pizza across the parking lot right now about a steak.
I know that's right.
Alright, so, you did get your, no, I got that. Okay, so you have Genesis and reach out to Carlos, cause I'm not sure
He
what.
gave me a login and a password,
For,
but it said, when I entered this, it said you have to have your email address. Like, do I just put,
Oh.
you know, I put
his
this in?
email address was, cause Genesis Pure Cloud, he used mine, but I'm assuming that he went and got.
No, I doubt, Carlos does not care about it now. I doubt.
They won't let me
He's
do
probably
it
using
like in
Chase
somebody
still.
else.
I'm sure.
Chase, yes.
Yeah, so,
That's
yeah,
See,
sorry,
that's
so
what
you
I
have to
have.
worry about your.
Okay.
He's meeting for me to log in here.
And then we already said, once we started taking calls, that you were gonna do it different way anyway, so you can, yeah.
Oh,
So
so
yeah,
you're
so
gonna
if you
have,
have
you're gonna
access
have
to
to like,
a dialer, you're fine, so
you're
don't
gonna have
stress
to,
that.
he's gonna
Chase is
do that,
down
because he's gonna have to
so-
remove that.
Do I want this?
I don't wanna remove
You can, but you're familiar with it, right?
I'm very, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, we're just getting everyone,
Because you're gonna have
we're
to
just
delete
getting
your
everybody
own,
set up,
and
so
then you
that's
can delete
fine.
this, and then you can
Gaia,
delete your own.
I don't
But it might
know,
be special words, so I don't know.
I know he said he set me up and put it over here so it'd be obvious, you know, where it was, and do I go to?
You can't just, you can't
Open
just,
your
because there's the one that
baby.
says
And what am I looking for?
default.
Gaia,
Default.
it's our remote agent training doc. Open
Is
up,
that it?
I think it was one that said link specifically, but I should have, okay, scroll down.
Oh, so there's,
There,
No, it won't let you.
that's not it?
there's one that says, keep scrolling down, let me see if I put it all on something, so try to consolidate.
It will.
It's my three help.
This is useful, but we already, I've consolidated,
Okay,
I've
okay,
consolidated this, so I was just trying to see if I had attached some links to this one, close that one out, and see if it's one that
And
says.
then you page that understand. It's saying that you have to first delete this one, and then just.
All of
open
them.
it.
There you go.
Yeah, but don't do it.
I know. I know better.
Yeah.
In there,
I don't know
done
how to log in.
Mhm.
Links or just links, period, but I'll reset it, that's not, once I have
No wonder
Wi-Fi,
I'm
I'll
not-
reset it. So you can-
I'm already
a
up.
second name?
No, I don't.
I know, but when you run an email,
Mhm.
the other person's name is hello. And so we're looking at, you're looking at.
All that stuff is in the binder, so you already have, yeah, you already have all this.
It was generic.
No, I know.
So I'll just wait till.
Yeah, wait till I get on, and then I'll
Read all
send you
your
the script. I'm
actions.
gonna just borrow her Wi-Fi, so it can at least go out, and you guys can have it. Wi-Fi, keep it on the Wi-Fi. So you remember that gift I gave you?
You gonna take it back, you a
Just-
re-gifter.
I was gonna borrow her.
Indian giver.
You a re-gifter.
I was gonna borrow a quick second. They, yeah. I apologize, I am so apologetic.
So you can't get into theirs because you don't have their password.
Right, he's gonna have to delete it himself and then do it.
It's all.
I love him, he
He's
is
gonna
so
have to delete
foolish.
you and
I swear,
Let me know when you
Charlotte
guys
is so
get
in
it.
my face.
Script. Hello.
I love Charlotte now. Oh, and School of Rock.
Well, it looks like fun.
Oh, and what was the other one?
Oh, awesome.
We were cold. We run a little.
Oh, we got the jacket.
We're cold and he's
Something D in the Pick of Destiny, where he literally had to
You
do
come
the
up with
rock
some of
off
this
the
stuff.
devil and
Oh,
I remember
I got some of
Yeah,
those.
it's Jack Black in it, but I can't remember.
When we tried to.
It had
this
Hill in it. Yeah, it had a
lot of big
Yeah.
stars.
Yeah.
Right.
But I Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny. I love any and everything.
I was looking at the
Especially
world, is that word
Nacho-
that starts with a T?
Oh my
Oh, you
gosh,
said
and
it.
then, Nacho Libre, when he's up against the wall, he's like, and these are my fancy pants, and squeezes his butt all tight, and the nun's like,
Did you see
On the
the,
top, it says that you have to delete hers first.
Yeah,
Delete
right,
it and then
it's
read
kind
it.
of the
That's
only one,
weird.
so, well,
I
just
think it's
don't worry about those for now.
Thank
I'll
you.
get it done with.
All right, thanks.
That's that
You should
one.
do it from this server, from the.
I can't remote in, but I'll take care of it afterwards.
Thank you.
That's it, anybody else?
Good idea.
So
Yeah, house for the clock and its walls.
You got Chase, but we need to get you.
House.
Did Carlos give you
With
the
the
50 block?
clock and its walls. Yeah, it's got
You
Jack
gave
Black in
me
it and
NFC agency block.
Kate
I
Blanchett.
got it.
You got it?
The script.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
I know he's got an account, so.
Oldberry's in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Got something from Maureen.
that was really good. He's so weird in it, like, he's
I It's
unusual weird,
always weird.
So,
oh, absolutely, but he's just.
You're popping up on my screen, Maureen.
oh, yes, me?
That doesn't even look like you, that picture.
Oh, and then year one.
I don't know how I feel. It's about,
It's because I think it's
about
because
2
your
years
nails
ago,
flat.
yeah.
And I think you're wearing makeup in this
Yeah.
picture.
So surprised,
You look
because I don't,
beautiful either way.
I don't mind.
Nope,
It's like,
trying to
you
be
got surgery
now you're gonna call me ratchet in person.
Oh,
wow.
Call me ratchet in
What?
person.
Wait a
Your hair's down and you're like,
Look about professional, I come here just look like, okay.
no, you look good when you come in here. But I was like, wait.
But I don't, typically I don't bother with remakes, but Jumanji was.
Thank you,
really
thank you,
good.
thank
I
you.
went into-
Okay, so everyone has the script?
No,
Yes,
I
and
have just.
did I miss about doing the contracting paperwork, the link to the contracting work? Are we gonna do it together, all of us, or what?
One more time, please.
Okay, coming up on the screen under Andrew Maggio is a link to do the contracting paperwork for Prosperity. Do you want us to click on that link and do it now?
No, I'm going to have Andrew walk you guys through that.
Perfect.
So it won't let me open what you sent me.
yeah, it's not helping.
It open, you have to save it. It won't. let you
Download it
preview
and save
Yeah.
it.
It lets me preview it.
Well,
Okay,
click the
so
down
my
arrow and
login
click
isn't working for my emails,
open,
tell me
and
to
then
make it a
it'll say
password.
save.
Just,
I got it.
Toy, try double clicking on
No,
it.
she's not
Andrea,
being able to. I got it.
it should be,
Try double
you should
clicking on
already
it
be
and
logged
then-
in. It should not make you do the password.
Save.
If that is not the case, then I'll have Jason call and walk you through it.
It's weird, and then open with Adobe.
Adobe or
On the
Chrome?
desktop now.
So this will be the script
Oh,
review.
No, it's a
Adobe.
PDF, so it should open with Adobe.
This is what I have.
Oh.
Hers is doing
Just some weird stuff, real weird stuff.
Jason!
She tried to save, cause she had to save it, and mine didn't require me to save it, nothing.
Yeah, mine let me just.
And
Mine
you-
required me to save it, but I clicked open and then it popped up and it said save, and so I saved it, and then I went to my files and clicked on it from my files.
She does look different in that picture. Doesn't look like her. Does it?
It didn't even give her the option for Adobe, so I wonder if Adobe's on her picture.
Right, so.
I hardly flat iron my hair because I don't be wanting to mess up my curls, even though my curls look like trash to me.
Oh, it's telling me to use Microsoft, that I've gotta use that eCorea. Look at that, it says, provide your password to use Microsoft Outlook.
See if you
No, that's
have,
just for that account, so you're only able to see this account. Don't worry about it, just close, hit this.
see if you have,
Adobe
Adobe on your computer at all.
It's not gonna affect you, it's just, I have it on my phone for my, I have 2 accounts, so I have,
Geez, Jason.
We speak
so like
Yahoo.
I have 2
Mm,
accounts
speak
on my
Outlook.
Outlook too, so I have, that's.
I don't like Yahoo.
Oh, what is the Outlook password? You just set it up and
So
sign
you
in.
can,
All my stuff is all logged in. I
Yeah,
have to
that-
use-
look,
I'm like, what are these passwords for? Now I know.
What's her password for Outlook?
I guess I already like that, just keep it.
Yeah, but now we have to have one for it because what if it signs out one day? How you gonna get that?
Like the only password I had to enter in was my
The
computer
computers.
password, everything
Yeah.
else came up over Gucci.
Yeah, because I was gonna say sometimes the emails that will come together, but just always. Cause like, there's a way online where I'll see like.
Yeah, but you're probably gonna need an admin key, because that might be, one of the things.
Same thing. Yeah.
And get a free trial.
Like, he's got it blocked, so we can't really do anything on that anymore, so he's with us.
Yeah, it's so hot in here. Okay, so open it in Chrome for the time being. Most of you guys do not have, well, it doesn't matter. Open it in Chrome for the time being. Jay's gonna put on everything that you need this evening.
Thank you.
Mine has.
There you go. There you go. Non-gentleman.
Oh, man.
And we just leave these computers home, I mean, here, right?
Yes.
This is about this much bigger than mine.
Double click on that script.
I saved it.
Were
you
you
don't
able
go
to
through there.
open it?
No. So if you go back to your desktop,
And I already
Yeah,
saved it.
this is the app.
you don't go through the app.
Oh, you
It's right there on the
try
desktop. Right
Go
there.
right click, that's the app.
Open it.
Pure Cloud?
That's what you use. So your email
Scroll
is your
down
first
to-
initial, last name at my dot.
Did you get the email, Miss Susan?
I don't have any emails.
No,
Are you
for
sending
me?
it to the computer or to my phone?
To you, oh.
To my, wait, it is.
Now scroll down and
Password is that
click on the
CPD
link.
address.
There should be in my feed specifically. I sent it to your email, but I thought that's what you were talking about. So what's is this Carlos's email? Should I
This is
forward
mine.
it?
This is
On the
my personal.
computer.
This is Carlos.
Okay, so I'll just send it to him. You'll log into his.
You should
Not
arrive
logging
here in
into
about
anything.
25
I don't know
minutes
where to
into the
go
call.
for his email address. It asks for an email address. I mean, he gave me, of course, his login and password, but it's not an email address. It's like a username and password.
So,
Yours is.
and he does not have the
On mine,
script.
I had a different person's profile on there, so I hit
So
hit for a new profile.
Capital
That
L, Y, capital
would be
I,
under there, that way
and
you can-
rocks, R-O-C-K-S.
1, 2, 3.
You didn't get me on 1, 2, 3.
And $1 on
Says experience.
You grew up on computers? That's awesome. My daughter did too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, my dad.
I'll pick that.
What is it?
PDF version of this.
Welcome to Computers 101.
So, like, that's in high school, I did my.
So you can't even send it to yourself because try downloads, look at downloads.
That's what it is, yeah.
Training, is that what you were just in just now?
They don't, like, designers and stuff.
So you can open your, that's what you do, you can open your email from, Chrome. Is that Gmail of you?
Well, what they did is, they didn't change the
Yeah,
password.
yeah,
They
yeah,
changed the
yeah.
platform. Yeah.
They moved everything from to Microsoft Edge. So they're eliminating Chrome and go into Edge. So
My dad said.
Who eliminated that?
We all have to.
Apparently huh?
No,
Microsoft
Microsoft is getting rid of Internet
That's
Explorer
That's what it is.
and
Edge.
moving to Edge. I'm like,
Which is-
two different companies.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fine, and then they can do all that on Chrome.
I still love Chrome and Firefox, that's what I.
I don't like Firefox, so.
And my uncle, he did one, because he said, well, black people back.
That's
in
why I
the
like
day,
I'm
couldn't
just
be your
Chrome.
own brand, you had to work on other people's brands. as
I
designers.
never was much of any, because where I came from, they were still transitioning, so there was some things still did not work on Edge, you had to go through Internet Explorer.
She's old.
So it was some go
Which is
here and some
so,
over
and
here.
my dad was
it's
like,
like very insecure.
So,
Let me know when you're in.
like,
I wouldn't have I'll get mine.
she's a certain
It's still attached to
So she
Internet.
used to be so advanced, she'd come down for any work.
Okay.
The curly ones. And like.
It's not money.
She was a good.
I'm just messing with you because the people like, no. You're not.
Those designers.
I'm calling you, Miss Andrea.
Love is the same.
I love all
you got my money.
You're a financial institution.
This
Mhm.
one.
You're
Alright. Okay, so
you should have, you should have a
I
login
had
to
to
do
use
this.
the same Laurel's credit union is there, it's not here with individuals.
No,
Yeah.
boy, no.
The bank I was at, they were,
I love that. I used to work on Broadway in Houston. I kind of
things were in it already, but some things were still using.
Of the script?
That's how it was at Maximus.
At the very.
Even, the entire CMS service system, it's on
I give.
Internet Explorer.
I
So
was like 16.
people are calling into healthcare.gov, and Maximus has the contract with CMS to receive the Medicare.gov, I mean, not Medicare, but healthcare.gov, as well as the Medicare calls. They're not even speaking to licensed insurance agents. I was the licensed agent who hired
We don't
literal
have the money to get
people
into that.
if you could read, you got hired. They didn't care if you had a GED or a high school
Mom was like,
diploma.
oh,
18 and up, come on in here. And you're getting people's vital information. And then the straw that broke the camel's back was the fact that,
Okay.
the feds came in, Department of Agriculture came in and started arresting people because these very same individuals who you just hired get on in here for open enrollment and annual enrollment, and you're stealing these people's information. Oh, and then it gets better, so COVID comes, right? They're already coming to the building, you can't have your cell phone out without lockers, and you don't have a clear bag and all this here. But then COVID comes and now you send people home.
No, she just worked at.
What you think they're doing
She
at
worked at
home?
EMC, and they filmed her. and
They're
that
getting
person,
all
and
that
that's
people's
what they
information. So December 15th was my last
They
day.
signed away her rights to it and everything.
Well, she didn't know that.
Maximus Federal right down 301 or whatever.
Yeah, but she been on TV for years.
They actually take the healthcare.gov and Medicare, so.
Yeah, this is the whole thing I just didn't know.
No, I'm just saying, so imagine
She was
this,
also
you're
on
calling
Sentinel.
to
And she
get
also did
your,
something
you
else,
know,
something
insurance for the year. It's healthcare.gov, unless you have Medicare
She's
too,
not-
because some
She
people
lost
have,
that after,
you know,
she decided.
well,
to do something.
depending on their age. Yeah, like if they're aging close to Medicare, then they'll still have this, but we can get them into the Medicare system, and then we cancel this out on their birthday.
But. She does like everything for the fun. There's not a lot going on.
You're literally talking to unlicensed
His,
agents. They are not agents at all. The
Cousin.
government.
But the unlicensed agents were providing
TV,
quotes.
like. TV
What do you mean? They
shows.
enroll you.
What do you call them?
Okay, who does not have access to the script?
Yeah, right.
Who does have access to the script? Yeah, script. Ms. Hannah?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, do you have access to the script?
Yes.
Yes. C, Crystal?
Yep.
Okay, and Ms. Susan almost.
Almost.
Okay. Whew, okay, so
For the tools and make this bigger.
go ahead and
Control plus will will enlarge your screen.
Thank you. Didn't know. Control plus. Cool.
Or you can just take 2 fingers and spread it out.
Look at that. Oh, really? These are cool. Mine weren't that
Bless you.
good.
Thank
Computers,
you.
and you can go control minus
And,
to minimize it if it's too big.
Well, thank you.
you can go. Remind me of my mom.
This is a little fancier than my work. Nobody showed me that there's programs on it.
go ahead and keep, you're resetting it?
I'm trying to.
Shortcuts,
Go
to
to
Oh, good, yes, they are.
stuff here.
people always think I'm weird because I love working in MDOS. Getting the financial center, MDOS, and you know,
Every 10-year-old.
mouse.
At all, you can literally
There's
use keyboard shortcuts.
Yep, everything is all on the keyboard.
And I like that in Excel too, because I can do the same thing in
I know,
Excel.
I hate that.
It does.
It's so tedious. But just let me tie my way through something. I can type a heck of a lot faster.
You know, you guys would all be traumatized if you have you ever worked with the marketplace?
I was just training people for the marketplace. I was a trainer for Maximus Federal.
Were you?
Yes.
The
We worked with the
marketplace, when
marketplace.
it first started, was absolutely enough to traumatize the new insurance agent. I thought it was.
We have a lot of,
It was
well,
hard.
only because I work there and train
Oh, no,
a bunch
I
of
don't.
non-agents on taking incoming calls and signing and enrolling people.
Mhm.
The only thing they're not allowed to do is take payments because they're not agents.
Right.
And then, you literally just have people, as long as you're 18 years of age or older, the government don't care. When you're calling healthcare.gov and when you're calling Medicare,
Mhm.
those are not licensed agents. That's why they ask you when you call if you're an agent
So
or
let
a
me send it to
navigator,
myself real quick.
if you're not the actual beneficiary or the consumer.
Oh.
Certified insurance counselor, I got that too.
Mm-hmm.
I accidentally took it. When it first
I wouldn't wanna do it all at health insurance.
Oh, no. It was, when you call the marketplace, you get four, if you call four people, you got four different answers.
Mhm, because they don't know what they're doing and they're not even agents. They're just
What is it?
trained
Is it
by an
MPS
agent. And
333?
then, like I was just explaining to Karen and Crystal, to add insult to the injury,
Mhm.
after I
Just,
literally trained over
yeah, I'm
37
thinking
classes from
I'm
June
three
up
again.
until December. They go, oh, well, we're cutting the contract, because of course they can do that, it's a contract.
Let me know
And,
whenever that pops up.
Would you like to
Yeah,
be a CSR and take calls? I'm an agent, are you crazy? Do you really think I'm gonna write insurance for somebody else? Like, I'm
Crazy.
so
No.
gonna be here. You could have offered me the
Not
position
even
of,
ask
hey, you wanna
this
use my
time.
license, if you wanted the master licenses here, but did you really just insult me?
And I gotta go.
And I had to go.
Okay, let me know when it shows up on your side so I can give this wonderful woman back. Her Wi-Fi.
It says google.com wants to open email links. Should I say allow or block?
That's a good question. I don't know what to do. I'm afraid.
Yes, yeah.
I've luckily never had to call the marketplace because the website is so easy.
Yeah.
Like, it's,
Healthcare.gov is
yeah, my
extremely
mom was
user
like, I
friendly.
used to tell my sister, why do you need me to do it? Do it. It takes.
It's extremely user friendly.
I
Give
tell
it a
people
second,
to
'cause it's probably
just
trying
go first,
to-
wait to see all their options, and then that way they can figure out what plan and what company you wanna go with, and then go to the marketplace. And that way they don't have to spend their time on there.
Well, that's what I like because I was able to like click what I wanted, click, even let you put in like what medications you take to make sure that you pick the insurance agency that. So they make it super easy. But I've had mine whenever it started. I had the same Florida Blue.
That's
Florida Blue?
the best.
Blue Cross Blue Shield. I got a $0 deductible.
So
I
it's
got
okay, but
$1
the only thing that I don't like
copay.
about Florida Blue is the simple fact that you have to travel a lot.
I don't
Because
travel.
a lot of, well,
Or
Well,
you're,
buses.
well, because a lot
I have
of,
Florida Blue, I can help you travel.
well,
Well, I have Blue
again,
Cross Blue
when you
Shield.
work,
I guess is what
you
it's
gotta
called.
understand, they made a lot of changes. A lot of doctors do not take it anymore. So you have to find someone in your network who still takes it.
Is Florida Blue different than Blue
I had
Cross
it for
Blue
years
Shield?
up until last year.
Still
Same
not?
thing.
Yeah,
I have a
I have
security
that.
guard.
And then
I
another
that
thing
I
that I
signed
didn't
in.
like with it too is Florida Blue
It
for
should be
some
like a message
reason.
coming from you.
They are one of the few, if you have children 18 or under, they still don't offer dental. When every other plan, if you have minors 18 or under, we always get free dental.
yeah, but dental insurance is so cheap. I paid $23 a month, and
Oh, no, I'm just
It's-
saying,
I mean,
that's, but for
that's
minors, it's usually inclusive,
I
so
mean,
think
even
about it
Medicaid
when
got it included for the minors. So yeah.
They used to, back when I
But I also
was.
Yeah,
I don't have
they used
kids. So I
to,
don't-
they've made so many changes, like the providers don't
They
even
still
wanna
do,
take
but
it.
they just have the preventative, not the, not maintenance. They only have preventative available for.
Oh, no.
Medicaid.
Oh no, I have
No.
maintenance.
You
You
get,
talking about Medicaid?
Oh, Medicaid.
oh,
I thought you were talking about
Medicaid, oh,
Florida
yeah,
Blue.
oh, okay. I
Right,
don't
they
know
used to
about
have better dental plans, now it's just preventative.
Oh,
You can go
I
get your
thought-
x-ray cleaned
I-
or whatever.
well, yeah, I thought, the health department would provide that though, because most of the people on Medicaid, they go to the health department, and then if they need something special, they'll send you to the orthodontist, and Medicaid would cover that.
every county is different.
I think it's only if,
See, Pinellas County gets the best coverage because Hillsborough and everybody else don't even get sunshine. Pinellas County gets that and they still get physicians, healthcare, so
And
instead
that
of.
may be, and that may be why you never have an issue with,
Yeah, because
my
you were in
Florida Blue,
Pinellas,
because of
because you're in Pinellas where it's okay.
So
they
the
cover
purpose
the
I
main
traveled
ones.
for a doctor, and that was by choice,
Mhm.
not because there wasn't one closer, but it was
Right.
Wesley Chapel, and that's because I actually met that Dr. McMillan, and he was willing to do what he was talking about, so I was willing to go there. But I'll
Right,
travel. Oh my God.
But, like, they just changed so much.
so what
especially-
area did they not cover? The smaller cities or something?
What do you mean, the,
Where you said that
No,
people would have
like-
to travel to get,
you can go to healthcare.gov and you can literally just put in the zip code and you can go ahead and do the lookup tool without having to put in any vital information. And if you look up any plans, whether silver, gold, bronze with Florida
No,
Blue,
not the Florida, like, how come some people have to travel? Like, is it
because
there's
none
not
of the doctors take it, so you have to go.
But like,
where
is
the
that in
doctors
Tampa
take
Bay or is that like a
In
small?
Hillsborough County, yes, we
Oh,
have a
really?
lot of issues with people who have gotten
So
signed
what,
up,
and
I never.
especially if
Oh,
they're,
here we go.
if they
Okay.
have children.
Okay, we got it. Let's bring
Yeah,
that
I can't-
up.
I-
As much as
never
I
heard-
appreciate
I
and
wouldn't
enjoy
know.
y'all. So let's
I'm
not.
Oh, no, we only got
Let's
about
not
45
back.
minutes.
Yes, I only think I have 45 minutes left of y'all in
Do
me
you
for
want to
tonight.
click on
Yep.
the thing there? Yay, oh
But
my
yeah, it was just
god.
like a lot
We
of.
have a line.
I never
We
the
have-
doctors would
Cancel it,
Actions.
you have to give them that override
Is
because.
it because of the?
Okay, let's regroup and refocus. Make notes so you guys can follow up on that in 46 minutes. Is everyone cool still? Cause I know I'm feeling a little hot, but I know it's just everything. Everybody good?
We're good.
All right, let the training commence. Ladies, are you guys with us? Say yes, say yes. I got it now, good. Okay, Ms. Madison's on and she is in. And you guys both have access to your scripts, yes? Okay, 2 yeses. Okay, beautiful. All right, if everyone could please go to mod. Oh, no, I gotta give her back internet, sorry.
Actually, I mean, if we don't go anywhere, it downloaded itself, so it's in.
Oh, it's on your laptop. It's okay, so good. I don't think I need this either, but we'll just.
Yeah,
focus it.
as long as
Okay.
we don't have to go anywhere.
No. So right now, we'll deal with, we will deal with systems and stuff. We'll deal with systems on, if not tomorrow, Friday, to make sure everyone has access to everything. There will be some back end stuff that Jason will do on your laptops to make sure that by the time we check GAIAC and agency block, that you guys have them both. Ms. Madison will talk tonight, or I'll have Jason send you something tonight to make sure you have access to what you need. So if you guys can all take it to the script, and go to mod 3 and scroll to the end of the health questions. And you will see the RX list link. Does everyone see it at the bottom of page 7?
That's the prescription list.
Yes, so if you click on that link, it'll take you into the New Vista prescription list. It's a PDF.
Oh, so you can hit find.
Yes, Lord. So when you are on your calls and you are navigating through and you're at the end of the health questions, if you're not there, say nay.
Nay,
Okay.
that I will need answer for.
So wait, it's, because you're
Because it's a
online.
It's a hyperlink, so they.
I'm
That's
good.
what I said, I didn't have to go nowhere.
I have one.
52.
Yes, so it is quite a few pages.
Control F.
Then we got
To
control
find-
F.
to find
52?
Cause then we got control F though.
Yes, that's a must. That's.
Or control F. What is it working?
Miss
Control
Susan,
F
you
doesn't
there?
work on
Yeah,
mine?
yes.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Oh, let's do it. Let's try this.
There we go. Maybe I
That's Brian.
misspelled it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so then you can always type in whatever they tell you. with
And
the
go Control F.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do that too with Medicare, so Medicare. Thank you.
Oh, I know, I know you say it like a seven, so I need to make sure you got it.
Well, any new system is new, you know what I mean?
Okay, so you're there, are you there? Focus, let's
I'm
everybody
not.
get it, bring it back to center. Yes, you are there, or no, you're not?
I am there.
Okay, perfect. All right, and is anyone not there? Okay, wonderful.
On the meds.
So, this is where you're going to go, again, when you are, when you're working with your clients, you get to the end of the health questions and you're gonna ask them about prescriptions. So, with having multiple screens and, Ms. Madison, I suggest strongly that you get at least 2 monitors, in addition to your laptop, or at least 1 monitor in addition to your laptop, but 2 would be ideal.
I have a monitor for sale for $50.
They have a bunch of sales going on, but we are going to, so I typically have the prescription sheet up on one just so it's there. It has a screen for itself, because when you're navigating through the calls, you'll want to have Google up to check the spelling and paste it right into the prescription sheet. So you want to get familiar with it, at least for just navigation, but Control F. You're gonna hit Control F and just drop in whatever the prescription is. If you guys, I'll give you a couple to search for, and you let me know what you get. Danoxamine, I will spell it. DAUNOXOME.
DAUN? Wow.
DAUN. No, you guys are who? Okay, so I apologize. Downloading it and searching it from your computer is a lot easier than doing it from off of the website. So go ahead and do that if it's not already downloaded. It's a lot easier to search with it downloaded on the computer versus trying to do it online. The find option is a little janky when you try to do it on
Oh, yeah, that
the
one.
internet. So yeah, download it first.
I got it. It's a cancer drug.
Hold on, let everybody get there.
You have to have the complete spelling, or can you give the
Mix
first
it out
little bit
and
and
then
then
download
you?
it.
You can do the
Gets
first
there.
little bit, but then it'll take you, if there are multiple, it may take you to a couple, but it's DAUNOXOME.
Sorry about that, y'all.
It's not doing it.
Are you downloaded it?
I've got download this.
Download the RX provider, it's a lot, you guys will all have my email already, so you don't need this.
That is one hell of an reasonable.
You see it? It's massive, what is it, DAUO?
DAUNOXOME.
Well, then you're covered for everything, man.
All right,
Covered for anything that happens.
I'd be great. That's what it says.
so everyone have it downloaded to their computers?
Mhm.
Now, from the downloaded PDF is where you're going to want to search. Anybody not able to find it? Control F. Yeah.
Search is anything on that you open
In
on
the
that
document, yes. So type it in and it should only have one and it'll take you right to it. If you just do the front half of letters or you start, then it'll take you through them all, but
Oh, so you have to put the generic names?
Now, it'll give you multiple, you can put it in several different ways, but it should come up. Cause if you Google search, typically it'll give you a couple different names, cause sometimes they will give you generic or they'll say this versus that. Just make sure you're using Google first to cross-reference and then drop it. So it'll have the generic and the actual name most of the time. Everyone find it? Or should I say, did anyone not find it?
It's,
Oh, so you said if the medication isn't on the list, then don't worry about it.
Yes.
Exactly. And if treatment-free level, or do you like
The
to
treatment
3
for
years?
3 years.
It's level.
So is anyone not there with us? So everyone is there. So yes, it gives you two options. If it's the treatment is current. If current, or reoccurrence, then there is no coverage. If they are treatment free for more than 3 years, then it would be level. So again, if they're answering no to these knockout questions, but for some reason they're still taking this medication, then they would not be eligible for coverage. If they've taken it, but it's been more than 3 years, then they would qualify for level coverage. Or it also says if a reoccurrence. So if they're taking it due to a reoccurrence of cancer, then again, they would not qualify for coverage. Yes?
Excuse me.
Let us check Eliphos. ELIPHOS. ELIPHOS.
No exception.
no comments.
There's no coverage.
Yeah. Kidney dialysis.
Forgive it.
Is everyone there? So what are you guys saying, that there's no coverage for this medication?
Yes, if they're still taking it, obviously.
So look at how there are two lines on the prescription list and in the
Dialysis,
Yeah,
no
they-
coverage.
benefits and the eligibility section. So it shows the refill within section says if within 1 year. So if they are taking it for kidney dialysis, it goes straight across. So if for kidney dialysis in the last year, there's no coverage. If they're taking it for a kidney disorder ever, so whether it's a year ago, right now, 7 years ago, if they've ever taken it for a kidney disorder, then they would be graded. Level, graded, modified. So they qualify for the second tier of coverage.
So if they had kidney dialysis over a year ago and they're taking the medicine, what would it be?
Then they would be ever. You'd rate that as an ever. So anytime there's a discrepancy and it's something that could be that close, you want to err on the side of caution. So you can go graded, but that may be something that when you get over to underwriting, it could be kicked. So underwriting, typically it will go straight off this, and if it is saying that it's over a year, then they should be good to go. And everything on the prescription provider says that they should be good to go, but there is a chance that it could get kicked, or they could request additional medical history, which is usually not going to go through. If they get off the phone with underwriting and the underwriter says they're going to submit the information to Prosperity for further underwriting review, that typically will result in an email from Prosperity saying that they need additional medical history or medical documentation, which means they need to submit 5 years of medical history. And most people don't submit the medical history, but even the times that they have submitted it, the coverage is not there. They just deny the coverage, or they'll just withdraw the offer or the application altogether.
How are your graded policies set up? Or is it like, do you have like a 4 years or? how
So
do you-
when we break down Prosperity, we'll go into that. Prosperity does have a 2-year waiting period, but unlike
Okay.
some other 2-year waiting period where there is no coverage, they do give them benefits during those first 2 years. We will deep dive into, we should hit Prosperity tomorrow. We should be able to get into Prosperity tomorrow, but we'll go into all of that. But you also do have a cheat sheet in your binders
Okay,
that will give you some Prosperity information.
thank you.
Let me see. EMEND. Yeah.
There's 2 of them.
Other use.
So in these instances, anytime you have multiple options or multiple, you're just going to want to ask questions. So do not be afraid to ask questions. It's stated twice, but it's really the same thing. If treatment occurs, if current treatment, then there is no coverage. If it's a reoccurrence, also no coverage. If they've been treatment free for 3 years, then it's level if it was not for cancer. Cancer basically would take them modified if it's been within 3 years, but if it's for anything else and it's been more than 3 years, then it would be level. So if it's for something else, but it's less than 3 years, then erring on the side of caution, you would want to go modified. You'd much rather them get over to underwriting and it get bumped up than you try to take them level and during underwriting it gets bumped down. If that were to happen, then they would give them the rate as a modified client. And if you quoted someone level and then they get modified rates, it's very, very different. The amount of coverage they're going to lose and still be paying the same amount or even more for a lot less coverage. So you want to be sure that you are using this, reading it, going off of what it says pretty much verbatim versus trying to be nice or give the client good rates. You're better off giving them high rates, preparing them, building doubt, and then it possibly giving them more coverage for less money during underwriting. That's a much easier sell than the other way around. If you guys go to page 21 in your binders, everyone there? You can also pull it up. It's warfarin is what we're going to check now and kind of break down the verbiage that it's going to give on the prescription list. For the most part, everything's pretty straightforward. There are a couple that may show up like this. So you can type in warfarin, but we'll also look at it on the sheet inside your binder. So I'll give everyone a chance to get there. All right. Now there is, so same difference, same situation, except it's a little more options. But you're going to go straight across to determine what is what.
Warfarin doesn't show up in my online.
WARFARIN.
The F. See, it says 1 of 3.
F
Yeah,
or
it's there.
Ah, there we go. That's what it was.
But when you look up here and it said 1 of 3, you would just hit the down arrow. With the down arrow, it'll go through.
1 of 3. Blood thinner.
I'll give you guys a chance to read through that and digest it for a second, and then we'll break it down.
Fancy name for rat poison. Not something I'm gonna tell anyone, but just so you know.
All right, so we'll start at the bottom because that's the easiest and most basic to read through. If the medication was prescribed for either a pulmonary embolism or thrombosis, then they qualify for level coverage. You see both of them. The very last option is thrombosis. Across from that, ever, then it will be level. Same thing with the pulmonary embolism. Go straight across. You see that that would be ever and it would be level. So again, if someone is taking warfarin or warfarin sodium, you're going to ask the questions with the for the options that are related to that medication. Now, if you also look, you'll see that there are asterisks next to the top 2 options, cardiac valve replacement or TIA and stroke. And then if you look in the comment section, it gives you all of the information that you see there. If fills are current within 2 years with concurrent fills for over 2 years, then it will be level. So you're going to ask these questions of the client to determine which option they fall into or what category
So
they
if
fall
they're
into.
consistently taking it,
Mhm.
okay.
So if fills are concurrent within 2 years and fills are over 2 years but not concurrent, then it will be modified. Basically, that's saying that if you have been taking it, but it's not concurrent, so you're stopping and starting and stopping and start. That means they haven't really figured it out. So they're still trying to. So it's more of a risk to the insurance company because they don't have it under control. You don't have it under control. So then it would be modified. If all fills are within 2 years, then that would also be modified. So if it's recent, then it's modified. If fills are not within 2 years and only shows 2+ years, then it would be level. So if it was past 2 years ago, and you're good to go, and now you are no longer taking it, then it would be level. So it's pretty straightforward for the most part. I know seeing it kind of is like, what is going on? So it's very detailed below to kind of break all of that down and why it is, but it's pretty, once you see it once and you kind of grasp the concept, you'll know how to ask the questions to verify or to see where the client will fall. Yes? Okay. You always have this page to come back to for the verbiage, but it's pretty straightforward once you see it and ask the question. So don't assume and don't go with best case scenario. You always want to go with worst case scenario, because again, it's a lot easier to say, oh wow, we got more than we were hoping for, than guess what happened. It's a much easier dance to go up versus down.
So the underwriters actually will suggest up, they're not greedy.
Yeah, they will. So with Prosperity, unlike many other companies, they will bump you up if you've submitted the application. Because remember, when we're going through the application with the client, we're going through the Prosperity portal, we're inputting the information, we're initiating the application. Once we hit finish, it sends it to underwriting to review, and they're basically going through with you and the client on the line. They'll go through and confirm the information and then pull the MIB. So at that point, if you've rated the customer or quoted the customer and you're submitting how you're sending over the application. So you'll select graded, level graded or modified and send it over. So once they pull the MIB, whatever they say goes. So you would much rather you be right on point. But again, there are times where it could go up or down. But there are times where they have bumped them up
Well, that's just nice, cause I feel like, company that's greedy or
Right,
something would
no.
wanna.
They will, and
Higher.
again, not many companies do that, Prosperity does, which is good, but again, you wanna make sure if they get bumped up that it's valid, cause you would hate for them to say, okay, yes, it's bumped up, and then Prosperity come back like, no. They have this medication, or whatever the case may be, if they should say yes to something and they say no and get bumped up, you do not want to let that ride, you want to catch it without setting it up, because it's right, and it's much better to get it right the first time than to chase a client down to try to get them to sign an amendment or figure this out, or if Prosperity needs to talk to them to verify the information that was submitted because something didn't match. Get it right the first time. You want to be thorough. You want to make sure that you're paying attention during underwriting, but you also want to, again, be aware of the questions that are being asked so that you can answer accordingly, or help the client to answer accordingly. Yes? All right, so that is now behind page 21. And I know you have a soft copy of this, Madison. I don't know if you received your binder as yet, but 21 or 22 through 20 something. 25 are some health, just medications. It's a cheat sheet, so you can always go through that and read it. These are most of the health questions that are asked that are kind of just broken down a little more in depth. But again, anyone that answers yes to a health question, if they have something, they know it. This is more just for your knowledge. If they ask you, well, what is that? Well, if you don't know, you don't have it. If you did have it, you would know more than I would. So don't stress yourself about trying to understand that. Okay, thank you. Yes, do let me know, please. And thank you, Ms. Madison. All right. Questions about mod 3? Any? No? Okay, so we are going to listen to a video about storytelling so I can give you guys some homework tonight. We'll do mod 4 tomorrow, but we'll finish the day with a video about storytelling so that you guys can get a gauge for, we'll talk about stories here in a second. Page 29 is the storytelling worksheet. And this video is about 16 minutes, so that'll be right on time. Can you go ahead and close your computer? Yes, you can close your computers. Are we leaving them right here on our desk for? Yes. Right. Oh, no,
Just none up there.
Right. Even though, you okay? Oh, yeah, I just couldn't reach the trash. I'm sorry. Making sure that all is well. So someone.
Oh, you don't have to be.
No, it's fine. I just don't know.
So you missed all
I'm missing all the stuff that I need.
Something wrong with toy?
Yeah, I was just trying to figure out the laminates in the back that I don't have,
You will have them before you need them.
just because I wanted to see like that area code now and stuff. This is.
Can I borrow your arms back? Insert things on this one? Yes. Not that.
Just the.
No, I'm saying, I,
They
yeah,
want-
that's what I'm saying, so that's what's like, holy crap. Yeah. These are.
Boom, boom, pow. Okay,
I think it's
so,
that blue.
I might just be kidding.
Hi, JK.
Right, okay, so what I am not going to do is fight with that. We'll listen to that first thing in the morning, but I will still give you guys homework and something to think about, because it's gonna give you a baseline of storytelling, and actually it'll be pretty insightful for you guys to think about these stories and start writing them down, and then hear how you should properly write a story. So it'll give you guys the skeleton, and then tomorrow we'll talk about adding some meat and potatoes, or meat to the skeleton, I don't know, you guys understand. So tomorrow and going forward, you guys are going to learn how to be excellent storytellers, because in order to really be able to successfully do your job and just be a good agent is going to be being able to tell stories well. That means painting a picture and creating a vision for your client. So you're going to want to try to make it as colorful as possible to get them to feel and understand the importance of getting coverage in place. So not only in Mount 4 will stories be used, you'll use them to connect with the clients. You'll also use them to response block in a way that does not sound like response blocking or seem like response blocking. So stories are very, very, very powerful, especially because, again, you're over the phone. That's all you have is your voice. So being able to successfully deliver a story is going to be the difference between you being an okay agent and a great agent. But also the difference between you being able to deliver a story versus deliver a great story is going to be the difference between you being a good agent and a great agent. So on tonight, if you ladies can, at home and with us in the building, you're going to want to come up with or think of situations that have to deal with all 8 story topics that are listed. Someone passing away with no coverage, a situation that you have encountered either directly or that you've been closely affiliated with, someone who passed away and had no coverage. Right now, again, just jot a couple things down to kind of get your mind in the thought process, or just get your juices flowing and think about these situations and get a couple things down, but we'll do a deep dive tomorrow. Someone that lost insurance when they retired. This often happens. People are not aware of it or don't think of it. But you want to make sure that you are able to have a story, because you're going to talk to people that are working and have coverage. So you being able to, not only having a good story is important, but knowing when to deliver and where to place the stories within the script and within the process is going to be big too. A story of illness and how it can affect your ability to get insurance. A feel-good story about what happens when someone dies with coverage. A story around why you do what you do. Have a story around, and some of these may tie into each other. Some of them you may be able to take bits and pieces of one and create another story, but you're not going to want to wing it. You're not going to want to think, oh, I can think of that easily. That is the fastest way to set yourself up, because sometimes you're going to need it and you don't want to sound like you're stuttering or you're making something up, or you're just randomly saying something that isn't true because it sounded good, and then 20 minutes later, you're contradicting yourself because you literally just pulled something out of thin air trying to relate or trying to have something to say about an instance that they have brought up or a situation that they're in. Have a story around how just a little something makes a big difference. That's going to be big, especially with people who cannot afford a lot of coverage, or that may be modified and have really high rates and they can only do $2,000 or $3,000 worth of coverage. But you want to have a story that you can use that will help them to understand how that can definitely have a big impact. Have a story about someone who cut back on their expenses to assure they maintain coverage. Now, some of these we will discuss as a group. Some of these, and your story should be just like the process and just like the script fluid. It's going to grow, it's going to move as you learn and as you hear people on the floor talking, you can use instances that teammates have had or situations that they have had. You can say, make it your own, but you can say, one of my teammates has dealt with this, or I saw this happen. And so you can, and you will, and we will discuss ways to make sure you have something for these instances, because you don't want to be on a call and just not have anything to say, or, yep, you're right, this is too much. And you want to be able to have something to say. And that whole thing, how having a story about someone who cut back, yes, we'll go into that further tomorrow, but just something to think about, because you guys
Is
may
that
have.
when I heard him say everybody wants the luxury car, but sometimes you gotta get the Honda?
Who knows? But that, I mean,
That's what
that
I
is
feel like that reminded me of him saying
right.
that.
So it's something, I mean, but when I say these are beautiful tools to have in your tool belt, and you will not realize how wonderful it is till you use it and you're like, ooh, and I didn't have to just think, and we're gonna craft them. We're going to create them so that they can paint a picture, but I do want you guys to get started so that you have something to have a base of tomorrow when you come in. Have a story around your marriage or your family, and a story around children. So you want to be relatable. You want to, even with your cats or your fur children, you want to, kids, people that have kids, you have a
I got
godchild.
kids,
So yeah,
yeah.
you're going to want to, as they're talking about kids, talking about family, if you're not married, well, some people, again, they love that they're not married. Some people feel some type of way about it. So you want to be able to have something to say around marriage or family, and yourself, yes, but even other. My parents were married for such and such amount of time, and I think it's a beautiful thing, or whatever the case may be, but you want to start getting this stuff down so that you can have stuff to give. Remember, our stories are currency. We're paying the clients back for everything that we're going to be asking them to tell us. So we want to make sure that we have something. And we don't, if it's currency, you don't want it to be cheap currency. You want it to be of value. So you want to spend time thinking about and creating these stories so that you can paint that picture and they do feel a connection with you. Yeah. All right. So you guys are awesome. You guys are beautiful, and I am done with you guys for today. Done. So tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock, we'll get going. I didn't hurt your feelings.
No.
Good. That is never my intention, but yes, you guys. It was the tech stuff. I'm not the most tech savvy person, so between that and. So ladies, thank you for joining us. And whoever else is on, thank you for joining us. I hope you're getting something good out of this. I will be reaching out to you soon, Miss Madison, about the tech stuff, and Miss Andrea. If you need me still, reach out. Shoot me a text and I'll give you a call as soon as I get free. Or if you need Jason. Bye. All right, you guys be careful. Have a good night.
Bring me back.
Oh, yes, I got it.
How so dramatic and crazy. Listen,